wonderful occasion. First, I would like to thank my wife for being my bride for 33 years and the love of my life. I would also like to thank her for giving me the most beautiful children a man could ever dream of. A family that has stood by me and each other through our joys, through our sorrows, through our ups and downs. I love you all so much. We would also like to thank Tim's parents, Joanne and Ray, and their entire family for welcoming us into their lives, and most of all, for loving Sami the way they do. We also want to thank our Missouri Valley family. The Hebbs, the Masons, the Reese, and everyone in that wonderful community that truly have become family to us, and most of all to Sami and Tim. We can never thank you enough. All right, now I want to tell you a couple stories about Tim and Sami and how we got here today. In February, Tim and Kyle came to Arizona to visit me while I was there to ride a rodeo. A long day of travel, then moving around, signing autographs, back to the rodeo. We were all back at the house relaxing. Around 11, Kyle excused himself politely to go take a shower. I came back into the kitchen and I noticed Tim immediately was ghostly pale. He looked as if he was going to pass out. Tim, I said, "Are you okay? Did you get hurt tonight? Did you fail to use the pickup man like usual?" He began mumbling, stammering, and a lot of ums, ahs, and well, after about 8 seconds of no audible word whatsoever, he blurted out, "Can I marry your daughter?" After about 8 seconds of silence, which is, I'm sure, the longest 8 seconds of Tim's career and life, he told me that he loved my daughter, that she is the love of his life and the one for him. And the best part, he said, "I only want to do this once in my life." My first response was, "I'm so glad you only want to do this once in your life." We laughed a little. I actually remember thinking for that moment that I wished Ray had been there. Wished Ray had been there to see his humbleness. It was so great. I was trying to decide how to respond because honestly I was not expecting this to happen on this day. I waited long enough to realize that this might be the only moment that I was ever going to have to tell Tim anything. "Tim," I said, and I put my arm around him, I said, "You have my blessing to ask my daughter to marry you on one condition." Not exactly what Tim wanted to hear, but the color was back in his face by then. I said, "Tim, you promise me that Sami and you will talk about everything. Your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your goals, family, children, faith, and listen to each other and laugh a lot." He shook his head yes and agreed with my request, and then I said, "This conversation you're about to have with Sami is going to be a lot longer than 8 seconds." It was a moment between Tim and I that I will cherish forever. Now for my beautiful, amazing, capable daughter. In March, Sami was also in Arizona to visit and run a couple rodeos. As agreed by Tim and myself, no one but Ray, Tim, and I could know this secret without risking the surprise. So I skillfully talked to my daughter, asked her a lot of questions about Tim and her thoughts about the future without ever for 1 minute giving her a moment of clue what was Tim's impending proposal was about to come. I did come to understand that she too was in love and had no reservations. She was happy, and Tim makes her happy. That's pretty much all a dad needs to know. So in April, Tim romantically proposed, and Sami called us and gave us every detail to her mom and I, including pictures. 2 days later, Jenny and I arrived in Marshall after after driving her horse from New Mexico. She was so excited to see us, but 2 days was enough for Jenny and I to realize and recognize that she was emotionally overwhelmed and scared. Not scared to marry Tim, not for 1 moment, but scared and overwhelmed by the reality of planning a wedding in October, no less. I remember her saying to me, "Dad, did you know that most people, like some people, they have a complete idea and details of exactly what they want their wedding to be? I looked at her and I said, of course I had no idea about that. She laughed and she said to me, neither did I. I had no idea. She said she never spent one moment of her life thinking about it. And what am I going to do? Jenny and I assured her that everything would be fine. Now, I have to tell you the part that Jenny and I do not understand to this day. She woke up the next day as a determined, organized wedding planner. We all know today. For those of us in the entire process, it was one night and she was transformed. I can only whisper the word bridezilla, but suddenly ideas flowed, calls were made, internet research was done, advice from others, all happening at the same time. And then there was a vision of the whole wedding in Sammy's mind. She was excited, determined, and first of many orders came down the line. We all had tasks, assignments, and if we failed to complete any of these tasks that day, we were scared. When Jenny and I got back to Minneapolis, hold the microphone up here. When we got back to Minneapolis that week, every day began with a 7:30 a.m. call to Jenny. The day's tasks were assigned, and the day's tasks were equally assigned to all those in Marshall. If she wanted a date for something, we just jumped. If she wanted a list of names or addresses or relatives' names, she was relentless from time and her expectations. If she wanted your opinion and you gave her your opinion and it was the wrong opinion, you changed your opinion. If you failed to meet a deadline, you may as well just run. It's been an amazing journey, filled with happiness and excitement. What Jenny and I really came to realize and understand was it was Tim and Sammy's wish and dream to bring us all together tonight as one family, to share this most wonderful time in their lives with all of you. So Tim, the moral of the story is when your wife tells you to jump, just say, how high? Sammy, Tim, what a fantastic thing you've done. Congratulations to you both. I am now privileged to ask you all to raise your glasses for a toast to Tim and Sammy, to a wonderful life together. We love you both. Thank you all, and have a wonderful night of enjoyment and celebration, and care for each other tonight like family. Thanks again.